Okay, so I watched a movie last night called The Soloist. Um, I guess it's based on a true story. This black homeless guy, this white dude that works at the L.A. Times, is driving through the city and happens to stumble on this black homeless guy. Come to find out, he went to Juilliard, excellent, musical mastermind, that kind of shit. So this black guy's out there on the street, minding his own business, homeless, playing his music, minding his own business, living his life. And this white fucker comes along. And what I wanted to do a video on right now is virtue signaling. You know what I mean? Like false help. Okay? Help with strings attached. You know? But this movie I watched it last night made me sick to my stomach. That guy from the LA Times, man, literally treated this guy like a slave. That's what I'm saying. Like, you people act like whoever has less material possessions than you, or that you think that you're going to come and save them. You know what I mean? Like, with more material possessions. That's crazy. You guys are sick, man. And this guy, that's what he did through the whole movie. He completely upended this black guy's life. He was suffering mental issues. I think he was suffering from schizophrenic episodes, psychosis, things like that. Whatever, mental issues, right? And this guy, this white fucker, just didn't give a fucking fuck about him. I mean, just put him in every fucking dirty situation that this guy could think of, right? To try to show, oh, well, I'm helping him. And there was one good part in the movie where, that LA Times reporter, they were at a event, and he was getting an award for his editorial or whatever, his column in the newspaper that he was writing on this black dude, this homeless guy, and his wife, like, how you sit at these tables with like 10 people, and his wife like totally just called him out in front of everybody and about his virtue signaling and how he was using this guy, to further his career, and it was true. And I was like, damn. That I think that's the only reason I kept watching the movie, because I was like, fuck. I mean, I just couldn't believe like they were pushing. And even when the movie ended, yeah, they recognized that this dude from the LA Times did a little bit of wrong, but they still just acted like, well, it was for the guy's good. At least this guy has an apartment and he got to play like in front of people. I mean, it's just weird, like people pushing their values and pushing their bullshit on people. Like that guy never asked for it. He literally, what he does is he buys him this musical instrument, a cello, I think. Finds him on the street with this, brand new cello. And of course the guy's like, oh, I want a cello. And he goes, okay, you can have it, but you got to go over here to this homeless shelter. And he's like, oh, fuck no. And he like, he abuses him. He outright abuses him with like, possessions, and he's like, look, I'll give it to you, but you gotta go do this, and the dude's got like mental disorders and everything else. It's like so inhumane, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's the only kind of help that I look around and see in this world is, these cocksucker from, wealthy people or strangers, is people that are just virtue signaling. They don't care about the humanity of anything. They're virtue signaling. They want to show everybody how much they care. If you guys have never seen that movie, I Care a Lot, on Netflix, check that shit out. You'll start to get an idea of how these cocksuckers say they care. I have billionaire family members. How do they show they care? They don't. They don't even bother. They don't even fucking bother. I have so many family that's attached to these billionaire family members that are constant in contact with them, and when they would talk to me. Their advice to me was, life's too short not to be happy. Life's too short not to be happy. Their advice to me was, well, you still have lessons to learn. Their advice to me was, oh, well, we'll pray to Jesus. You know what I mean? Like, there is no help in this world. People don't want to help you unless you conform to whatever they want you to conform to. People don't help free thinkers. There's no society of free thinking. You know what I mean? There's no culture of free thinking. There's no community of free thinkers. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Because everybody's so afraid, like everybody's just grasping on to their fucking beliefs so hard. And if by other people having their own ideas, it just completely fucks everything up. And what really fucks everything up is that there are so many ideas out there in this fucking world because of all this bullshit. Literally, like you have been born into a fucking grand play where everything's set up for you, any distraction in the world. Like, how do you even come across as a free thinker to anybody when you're actually, most of what we're free thinking about are thoughts that are coming from the influence of our fucked up environment. And that's why I'm saying it's so important to go back to the goddamn birth to understand that you're put on a program at birth. And to truly be a free thinker, you have to take it all the way back to birth and understand that you were born, no matter what you learned after you were born, it was a program. You weren't laying there at 10 years old and Jesus came to you and said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Believe in me and you will go to heaven. Well, how do I believe in you, Jesus? Well, you just follow me. Pick up your cross, follow me. You say your prayer, and you believe in me. And no, this shit was pushed. It was forced. It was programmed into you. All this shit was programmed into you. So the only way you can be a free thinker is you have to go all the way back. You have to let go of all of this shit in society. You cannot be a free thinker and be trying to and do like Christian apologetics or Islamic apologetics or be a Republican or be a Democrat or any of this stuff, any of it. You can't be a free thinker and attach yourself to any of this because all of this is against free thinking. And that's why it's so hard when we try to come across to each other as humans. We're doing it, but we're leading with our ego. We aren't leading with our spirit. We're leading with our fucking ego, the ego. The one that gets hurt, the one that gets, my feelings are hurt. You know what I mean? The ones that can't, the ego is the one that cannot handle shit. So instead of leading with our hearts, we're leading with our egos. And when we lead with our egos, there's so much confusion. Like you can't talk to people when they lead with their egos because they want you to sit there and disprove things. Like they'll sit there and they'll learn space for 25 years of their life, all these numbers, all these theories, all these fucking calculations and bullshits, and then they'll ask you to sit there and disprove. They want you to disprove every fucking point. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, what are you talking about? That's impossible. Like Christians, they want you to sit there and disprove nobody can just go off their own common sense. Everybody wants to go off of their programming. And that's how you create these huge intellectuals and these gurus. Because people realize, well, shit, in order to make an argument on space against somebody who believes in space that's studied it for 20 years, I gotta spend 22 years figuring out why space doesn't exist. I mean, it's just fucking ludicrous. You guys are ludicrous. All this knowledge. Somebody gave you this knowledge. This knowledge, where did this knowledge come from? You guys don't even question that. You just go, well, it's here before I was here. And it came from somebody I respect, a source in my community, so I'm going to trust it. You guys are so full of shit. But yeah, going back, I mean, and it all goes back to attempting to be a human. Like this dude from the LA Times, he was going around thinking he was so righteous in everything he was doing. He was so upset at the poor homeless black guy for not understanding the kindness he was trying to shove in his face. It's like, God damn, you guys aren't helping. You think you're helping, but you're not. You think you're helping by praying to this fucked up Jesus that fucking abused me as a child, and you guys continue to pray to this Jesus with my abuser. What the fuck is wrong with you people? I have billionaire family members that have never even have done nothing but passive aggressively made me feel like shit. To the point where I quit talking to him after I borrowed $600 from him 14 years ago, 16 years ago, whatever fuck it was. In my other family that I seldom had contact with, seldomly, every time I see them, one of them tells me, life's too short to not be happy. While she goes and enjoys all the fucking luxuries of being a billionaire. Life's too short not to be happy. Life's too short not to be happy. The rest of my family, you got to work harder. You're not working hard enough. Oh, it just takes time. You got to build your business. You got to work harder. You got to work harder. You got to do more. Got to work harder. Got to work harder. You haven't done enough. You're not doing it right. Got to do more. I mean, it's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. So just to let you guys know, whoever's out there struggling, you're not alone. Don't feel bad if you don't accept help from these cocksuckers. They don't give a fuck about you. They're just virtue signaling. You know, if your spirit tells you yes, accept help from somebody, accept it, you know, of course, and don't doubt it. But if anything inside you is telling you don't. It's that simple. You don't need them. Fuck them. Fuck them. If anything, it's just going to help you detach from this fucking hellhole. You know, this materialist hellhole. So, just looking on the brighter side of things, you know, if you're struggling, having a hard time, and you see that everything that wants to help you has loopholes. They all have loopholes. They're like, oh yeah, we'll help you. We're so kind. We're going to help you, but you got to do this. You got to do this. That's not called help, guys. That's called people taking advantage of the disabled or disadvantaged by saying, well, here, I'll give you some of my little goodies that I've accumulated in this life, but you got to give me your soul. You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts, man. You got to do exactly what I tell you. It's like my ex-wife. That's in her text messages. That's what she did to me. She's like, I gave Sammy everything, but she won't do what I tell her. Oh my God. Virtue signaling. Be careful. It's dangerous, guys. These virtue signalers, these group thinkers, they'll get you wrapped up, bud. You know what I mean? They lead with their gifts, and then, man, they got a pair of handcuffs they're waiting to put on you. As soon as you reach out to grab that gift, they're going to handcuff your ass. Fuck you, put you in a mental and emotional prison is what they're going to do.